stupid fucking bullshit.
Here we go again. Just when you thought it was safe to look at Dead Company and consistently woke, aka CW, Dead Company is DC. Just when you thought it was safe to have some hope, here they come. In the anti-woke era, at a time when disposable income is hard to come by, rather than put out a show that people want, they are going to put out another gigantic virtue signal. A virtue signal so strong they will be able to see it from Mars. This show should be about the Bat family, right? You think Gotham Knights? Boom, lots of characters to choose from. Jason Todd, Red Hood. You got Batgirl. You got Batwoman. But no. They're not going to focus on Damian Wayne. They're not going to focus on anybody like that. No. They created a character by the name of Turner Hayes, Batman's adopted son. Now, what happens when you have an adopted son? What happens? Usually, when you're doing it in a show like this, you throw around words like alternate universe, and you throw around words like alternate timeline, and what that means is we're going to piss all over the legacy of these characters. We're going to crap all over this show, and you're going to like it. The reason they're doing this is because they are desperate. They're doubling, tripling down as woke is crumbling. They know that their time is limited. They're trying to pad their resumes. They're trying to get as many connections as they can. And they're trying to put these shows out so that 5 years from now, they can crank out a movie and say, see, it was based on the show. It was based on a comic book. Well, guess what? Oh, you think Batman's safe? Nah. Dead Company's got something for you. Batman is bisexual. I said this a year ago. I made a video, I guess, like 2 months ago. But I said a year ago to Nerdrotic, I told Gary in an email, which I know he didn't check. I'm not hurt. But I told you they're making him bisexual, Gary. I know someone, one of the most influential comic book writers in modern times, had a show that came out that lasted for a long time and had spinoffs. He told me they were making Bruce Wayne bisexual. And he also told me that in the near future they will be making him Asian Pacific Islander. And they will be making his butler a minority. And they will be replacing everyone in that comic with some kind of rainbow minority and gender swapping. Now that shouldn't be a shock to anyone, but this is Batman. This was their top-selling comic book. Everything else was failing. Superman, gay son of Krypton had crashed and burned, so they had Batman, they had the Bat family, and they're pissing all over it. Go watch Eric July and Az from Heels vs. Babyface. Go watch them. Go watch their video on this crap. I can't even talk about it too much or I'll just get pissed off. So the first Batman spinoff show was... We had a Batman show. It was called Arrow, for a while. It was basically Batman, the Arrow Cave, and, he had Ra's al Ghul, and it was really cool. It was cool in the beginning. And that was the closest we were ever going to get to Batman until we found out they were making a Batwoman show. We were like, oh, yeah, let's go. Shit, what is this? When a lesbian decides to lesbian, and she and the lesbian scissor. A bunch of white men come out, and they kill the white people with no repercussions. And then they lesbian off into the sunset before scissoring. Once again, that's Batwoman. That's every episode of Batwoman. It's nothing but a race, gender, sexuality baiting show. And the writers and producers have said, hold my beer, let's take some of your favorite characters, and let's just destroy them. Enter Gotham Knights. Is the show going to focus on Damian Wayne? Nah. Is the show going to have accurate representations of the comic book characters? Nah. The show is going to focus, apparently, on some Turner Hayes, a new character, Batman's adopted son. Misha Collins is Harvey Dent. Now, Misha Collins is actually Castiel. If you know the Supernatural show, which I loved, it got really woke at the end, but the Winchesters in the beginning were so cool. Testosterone-filled, all-male, all-American males getting into trouble, causing trouble, and the whole, apocalypse storyline was incredible. Then it got woke. Misha Collins got in trouble because he said Castiel was bi in a joking manner, and he had to apologize to the blue and pink-haired psychos that they pandered to so much, because you get what you fucking deserve. You pander to this invisible audience, these lunatics, these people who want to own your company, and they are terrorists, and they are bullies, and they will hound you, shame you, and mock you, which is what we are doing to them now. Cancel culture came for them, and they barely got away unscathed, I'm telling you. So, apparently in Gotham Knights, Misha Collins is Harvey Dent, which is a sure sign this show is woke. He's trying to atone for his sins big time. It's more CW garbage. Screen Rant, I got this information from, of course, the corporate media shills. They had put out an article about why Batwoman was canceled after season 3, and I thought it was to save Az from having a stroke, but no. It was stunning and brave and a triumph, and they felt it was time to move on. I'm just paraphrasing like all the corporate media shills. It was time to move on to a bigger show. This show was a lead-in for Gotham Knights. This show was just trying to show the world and blah, blah, blah. It's terrible. So you let the writers and producers move over to Gotham Knights to handle beloved characters. Well, Screen Rant is where I got this information from. And what I got, I couldn't believe what I was reading. Batman is dead, and a powder keg has ignited Gotham City without the Dark Knight to protect it. Okay. Got a little Dick Grayson in there maybe? I don't know. Who knows? Let's see where this goes. In the wake of Bruce Wayne's murder, his adopted son, Turner Hayes, played by Oscar Morgan, is framed for killing the Caped Crusader. Oh. Along with the children of someone Batman's enemies, Duella. What? An unpredictable fighter and skilled thief who was born in Arkham Asylum and abandoned by her father. Okay, I can kind of dig that, Born in Arkham Asylum, that sounds pretty brutal. Abandoned by her father, I'm good with that. We know superheroes and villains have, that kind of origin story. Moving on. God, Harper Row, played by Fallon Smythe, a streetwise and acerbic engineer who can fix anything. Tinker, I don't know. A streetwise. Whenever they say streetwise, I can only imagine the Hollywood version of that crap, man. Her brother, Cullen Rowe, a clever... Are you fucking kidding me? A clever transgender teen who is tired of being polite and agreeable. We know what this is. Whenever you hear just as brash and bold and brave, it gives them an excuse to walk around and just berate everyone and go ahead and say, I'm trans. And if you don't understand that, a clever transgender teen who is tired of being polite and agreeable, with the charismatic and hard-charging district attorney, Harvey Dent, and the GCPD hot on their trail, Turner will rely on allies, including his best friend, fuck's sake, and formidable coder, the man in the chair, the woman in the chair, Stephanie Brown, and unlikely Batman sidekick, Carrie Kelly. But our knights will soon learn there's a larger, more nefarious force at work within Gotham City. Let me fucking say this. Whenever they have these shows, they can't ever get the villains right. They don't have the budget to do the villains right. They don't have any... It's a CW garbage show. It's going to be trash. It's going to last for a season, maybe 2. Long enough to promote the video game that's coming out, which is probably going to be a dumpster fire too. Because from what I understand, the gameplay better be good. That's all I'm saying. They're called mismatched fugitives, must band together to become its next generation of saviors, known as the Gotham Knights, or the LGBT Rainbow Crusade. Berlanti Productions, baby, in association with WB Television. I swear to God, WB Television, you are not paying attention to where your money is going. And in this economy, you're going to look back on this and say, why did we let these people take over? It just makes me sad. It really makes me sad. So, Gotham Knights is based on characters created for DC by Bob Kane with Bill Finger. Let me tell you something, you arrogant motherfuckers. I can make a transgender butterfly and put Iron Man colors on it and say based on Marvel characters. These movies that they make based on true events, they take the name and the location and then they just bastardize it. This is what you're doing with these characters. You're saying fuck you to fans. You're laughing like the Marvel writer who just came out and said, take that, white boys, essentially, about why they're bastardizing all of the Marvel characters. We live in a bizarre world where this shit is allowed to be made. We live in a bizarre world where they keep promoting people who fail upward. Ava DuVernay, I hate that bitch. I'm sorry, I'm getting pissed off. How can you take something like this, something the fans have been asking for a while, and just shit on it? And just worry about what's between people's legs, where they put it, what color their skin is. Fuck you. You should have just made the show and just let it go. You don't need to tell us and highlight all the skin colors and all the sexualities and all the genders. We don't care. Just make the show. Yes, we probably would have complained because we know why you're doing it. But if you made a good show based on story and not who's pumping who and how they're pumping them, we would have accepted it. We are capable of accepting it. And I don't mean white people. I'm talking about fans. The people who are a built-in audience for this, that all you had to do was give us what we wanted. But you couldn't. You couldn't do it because you got to bait. You got to bait and switch. You got to race bait, gender bait. You got to sexuality bait. You got to push the LGBT, let's groom babies and toddlers. You got to push that in there. Naomi, 10 is the new 16 line. The LGBT community, they work with us. They go to our churches. We go out to dinner with them. They work in places we visit, establishments. And we get along in peace. And they don't walk around all day and go, hi, I'm Josh, I'm your server tonight. I take it in the butt, I'm a bottom. Nobody does that, man. Nobody. So why do I need to know that about comic book characters? No one cares except for you. And you're doing this because you know your time is up. You're doing this to pad your resume. And you're doing this because you like to, quote, piss the right people off, unquote. And you're willing to destroy everything for political reasons. You're doubling and tripling down with this bullshit. You had a home run and you just completely struck out. So I will not be watching Gotham fucking Knights. I will not. If you want to watch this shit, good on you, man. But I'm not going to. I'm getting tired of this shit. And I think the rest of us are too. And this show will be canceled, as I said, after season 1. Probably after season 2. Unless their ego won't let them do it. Just like Batwoman. They'll keep it going as long as possible. And I know this video is long, but fuck these people, man. I'm just tired of it. I hope you guys are too. Please like, subscribe, and share. Help me get to 1,000 followers. The more people we can reach, the better. We have to warn normies. Don't give them any ratings. If it's good, so be it. If Az comes out and says, hey, this is great. Gary, Ryan Kennel, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, Eric July, Bounding Into Comics, any of these people, I will try it. But I'm fucking done with this shit. Please like, subscribe, and share. I love you guys. I swear to God I do.